Hi everybody and welcome to this video tutorial where we're going to be creating a low poly normal mapped version of this knife. Now if you have watched my older videos on how to create this knife, the first thing you may notice is that this is slightly different, and the reason being is I actually lost that knife model when I had a system crash. So I've gone ahead, I have rebuilt this knife. It has some slight differences, and because of that what I'm going to do is I'm going to include this knife in the description. So, you know, you can go ahead, you can download this knife and you can follow along from scratch. So I have the reference plane here, and actually we no longer need that, so I'm going to delete this. And this is going to leave me with just the knife. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to press control, actually I'm going to press save, and I'm going to press this little plus button right here. And what this does, this makes a knife underscore 01, 02, 03, so it just adds a prefix and retains the old data while creating a new file. Anyway, so we have this knife, and there's a few things that we are going to go over here. So the middle section here, as you can see, has this BG or GB, is it? Yeah, BG here. Now, because that is, when we turn this around on the other side, we can see that this needs to be facing in the opposite direction. So when we come to baking that, this section, I guess, is going to be more unique than anything. Other than that, all we really need is just essentially half of this. And in actual fact, what we could do here is not even bother with this, just flip this. So we can, yeah, I guess we can do this just on half here. And so what I mean by that is, if I go to each one of these pieces, I can turn off the symmetry. And this one doesn't have it. And turn this off. And we can do the same here. Turn this off. And you see what we end up with is only half a knife, and that's perfectly fine for what we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to start to use the base geometry of what we have here, and start to construct our low poly mesh. So I guess the best place to start would be with a knife. So before we begin to do this, I'm going to open up the layers, and I like to work with layers. So I'm going to create a new layer. Let's see, new layer. And I'm going to call this HP underscore knife. So high poly underscore knife, and I'm going to press the plus icon, and that will put all these models on here. So now if I go ahead and duplicate all these, so I'm going to click clone, choose copy, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new layer. Call this LP for low knife, and we are going to go ahead and add all these. So what this essentially means is we can just unhide, or I should say hide, all the high poly models here that we're going to be used to bake the information, and then just work on the low poly models here. So let's go ahead and begin with creating the blade here. So I'm going to select all this and choose hide selection. And this should be fairly straightforward actually. So let's see, we can turn off the turbo smooth. We're not going to be using this. And there's a few things we can do. So we can erase or start to combine some of these bits and bats here. So let's go over here and collapse these. Okay, choose collapse. 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 And go ahead, and what it's going to also be beneficial doing is if we unhide everything actually. Okay, jump to the layers. Okay. And then hide everything again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this low poly model here, and I'm just going to apply a different color here. So maybe something not that bright. Let's see. Just something with a different color so we can see what's going on. So this will do. So what this means is that we can now begin to deal with some of these shapes. So I'm going to start collapsing this like here. And if I double click here, I can remove these and pull these forward. Okay, choose collapse. So the idea really here is just to create, make this really as low as possible. Okay. Now, if we look along these edges, I guess we don't need this. Okay. And I'm also going to remove this edge here. Now, I am going to keep this supporting edge along here because this is going to help sell the smoothness. So let's hide this. Okay. And let's select all and just add a smooth to everything. So we can see what's going on. Now, what we want to do is every time there is an angle greater than 90 degrees, as you see here, we want to add our own or a different smoothing group. So this is all set to 1 at the minute. So we want to set this to, let's set this to 2. And we can do the same here. And probably an easier way to do this is to go ring. Okay. Clear all. Set this to 2. And then just remove the top ones. Clear. Set this to 3. Let's see, we could perhaps select these here. So this to 4. Okay. So we get this flat edge here. And I guess we best keep going along here. So we can set this to a different smoothing group. So these are not exactly 90 degrees in terms of transitions, but we do want the knife to be fairly flat, so we can do the same thing here. Let's see, let's try maybe 5. So you can see what this does for us. So it gives us this flat edge and then this flatness, but it also retains this smoothness right here, which we are going to keep. And yeah, I think that's about it for the knife. So we can go ahead and start to remove and add polygons if you like. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's continue to optimize this for better performance. So let's see, I guess we can move this. I'll move these around. Let's see, can we get away with this? We could probably get away with this down here. And we probably have to move this. And this. And let's see. So let's unhide everything again. And let's just make this fit just a little better. I want to keep this as close to the actual shape as possible. Okay. Invert and hide this. Now, I'm also curious if I can also collapse these up. So this is just one of those processes where you're just going to have to take time and deal with optimization. The least there is, I would say, I guess the better, but it really depends on your aims. So I think I'm just gonna bring this up to here and leave this kind of rigid up like this. Okay. Okay, so yeah, that's perfectly fine for me. So once we've done that, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna rename this. So I'm gonna OP_blade. And if I turn symmetry on, see if we get that on the other side too. However, for the purposes of how we're going to be doing this, we don't need this here. So the next thing I'm going to do is unwrap this. So I'm going to do this piece, unwrap it, and then we'll stop the video, and then in the next video we'll go ahead and do the handle. So this is going to be fairly simple. I'm going to press the UVW unwrap. Okay. And here's what we're going to do. We are going to select everything from the front, like this. And I'm going to deselect these, because these need to be on their own UV island, and this is because that of that rule to do with anything more than 90 degrees. If you don't do that, then what you'll get is wedge smoothing issues when it comes to baking out the normals here. So let's go ahead. Done that. This. Okay, is that everything? Okay, that's everything. So this here can be completely flat, because essentially, even though we have this small curve here, it's not going to break the UVs too much. Some people may separate wherever they have smoothing groups, and if it comes to a point where there's an issue where we have to do that, then we definitely will. So let's go to the UV editor. I'm also going to uncheck this normalize map, okay? And this just makes sure that everything is going to be in, or everything, the actual cluster is going to be normalized. So when we've done this, I am going to choose, well, what I'd like to do first is choose pick texture. I find this checker a little distracting sometimes, so I'll change it to just this black background here. So once we've done that, I'm going to choose the planar map and choose the right orientation here. Oops, this one. Okay. And let's see, let's go to tools, relax, and just let's see if we can relax this just a little bit. Okay. So this has made this relax. Now there is this issue here because we didn't break it off properly, but that's okay. We can deal with that now. So I'm going to select this. And let's go ahead and select the rest of the bottom of this knife. So let's keep going all the way. Let's go to about there. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to choose planar. And we want to make sure it's in the right axis here. So let's see. This one, there we go. And this, let's see, this actually is going to have very little information in here. However, I do just want to pull this out just a little bit. So even though there's going to be a little bit of stretching in here, it's going to be perfectly fine. And so we can do the same here for the top. And I guess the quickest way to do that is just select everything that's left. And then choose planar. And there we have the top and bottom. So I'm going to move this down. Let's see, down here, and finally what I'm going to do is going to press the M key, and let's see, I'm going to bring in a checker pattern just for like 5 by 5, assign this on here, and hopefully we should have nice even checkers. So that's a little bit too much. I guess that's because of the size of the actual, oops, I pressed the N key here. There we go. So you can see we have nice equal checker patterns, and at the bottom you can see there's a bit of space, but we didn't make too much of a mess in terms of stretching. So that's the first part, that's the blade essentially completed. Next thing we're going to do is move on to the handle. So I'm going to unhide this, I'm going to press Control and S and save this, and for now I'll see you in the next video.